everybody, it's Grant, and today I'm going to share with you how MrBeast makes over $82 million per year. I even have Graham Stephan on the channel to analyze the data and to get to the truth. Oh, and if this video gets 1 million views, I'm giving away $5,000 to my subscribers. Enjoy. MrBeast, aka Jimmy Donaldson, is a self-made internet sensation that has astonishing growth. I've seen videos where he had to save up to get his first camera, all the way into retiring his mom so that way she didn't have to work a 9-to-5 any longer. Also, Jimmy spends $600,000 a month on his employees and his rent. He's competing for the #1 spot on YouTube, and he's dedicated to the absolute best video possible, no matter what the cost is. Just a little over a year ago, June of 2020, he tweeted that he had already spent $10 million on content so far that year. Currently, his spending has ramped up to over $4 million per month. And as he grows, I truly believe his budgets for his videos will as well. To solidify this point, let's actually take a look at Colin and Samir's latest video with MrBeast.
MrBeast spends $4 million a month making YouTube videos across all of his channels. And how do we know that?
I showed them my finances,
Which was amazing. It was
Wow, and in my opinion, this 23-year-old YouTube megastar is just getting started. So now let's take a dive into how he makes his multi-million-dollar fortune per year. MrBeast has 5 major channels that we're actually going to be focusing on for this video. MrBeast's main channel actually has 12.6 billion total views. MrBeast Gaming with 3.2 billion total views. Beast Reacts with 1.1 billion. MrBeast Shorts with 943 million total views. And Beast Philanthropy with 37.2 total million views. When you add all these together, you get a total amount of views of nearly 17.9 billion. He also has a major merchandise line that we frequent often here on this channel, as well as MrBeast Burger. MrBeast Burger, when it first opened, sold $1 million hamburgers in the first 2 months. Now, understand it had 300 kitchens at the time. Now they have over 1,000 kitchens, and they are absolutely crushing their previous numbers. They are breaking ground on the first physical location for MrBeast Burger. That means even bigger things are coming to the Beast brand. So let's actually take a look at the full story of MrBeast from Colin and Samir and see where they drop this little hint for us.
Beast Burger. Obviously, that's everywhere in the U.S.
Yep, over 1,000 locations.
Over 1,000 locations. The fries are amazing.
Every time I talk to him,
I love the
he's
fries.
Like, did you know your fries are amazing? I'm like,
your
yes.
Fries are really good.
I get it. Fries are good.
The fries are really good. Talk to me about, when does Beast Burger become a physical place I can walk into?
Well, that's what we were talking about before the podcast. We're working on breaking ground in our first place, our first physical restaurant. I won't spoil where.
Okay.
But yeah, we got the first one in progress, and eventually I want to scale up and do other ones. I got some fun. I don't know if it's possible. Like,
how awesome is that going to be? And if that doesn't prove the genius that is MrBeast, how about his latest major move? He is now re-uploading his previous content, the stuff that he's already done in other languages for other countries to enjoy. Google says MrBeast makes $3.4 million on ads, $2.4 million on merch, and $690,000 on sponsorships. It seems like everybody has tried to get MrBeast to say what he makes, or come up with their own equation of how much he truly makes per month and per year. Here's a video from Colin and Samir doing just that.
All right, so we did a YouTube money calculator to see how much money your channel has made in total in its lifetime.
Okay. Lifetime?
Lifetime.
Yeah. Okay.
The main channel.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so that's off at 12 billion views.
12 billion views.
Okay.
So the number it gave us was $28 million.
So it's assuming like a $2.3 RPM. Interesting.
Okay, so watching his face, I've watched this video like 15 times. Comment below if you think that he's got a heck of a poker face, but I think he got a little bit like $2. Like, I do all this to get $2. Like, just watch. I really, he's hard to read. I'm telling you, I'm in the car business. I talk to people for a living. He's hard to read, but Yeah, it's way low.
I mean, obviously, I've spent tens of millions of dollars on my videos, so
True.
the money has to come from somewhere. I won't leave it at that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because you've spent more than that.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, tens of millions of dollars have gone into my YouTube videos. Like, because I've taken all the money from the gaming channel, the reaction channel, all the other stuff I'm doing, all my merch, all the brand deals, everything, gone right back into it. Yeah.
I have been digging into this and I am looking for the truth. As I said earlier, I'm also going to have Graham Stephan here on the channel to where he is going to help me get to the bottom of this. Also, me and Graham did a collaboration on a MrBeast reaction video where MrBeast opened a free restaurant. Me and Graham predicted that MrBeast made $5 million per month then, so I'm really excited to see what we're going to come up with today. For some perspective on this topic, I'm actually going to give you a clip of PewDiePie, the #1 YouTuber in the world, and what he thinks MrBeast makes.
I get you.
Enough to blow your mind. In an average year, the main MrBeast channel makes $13,860,000, and honestly, that's still a pretty
Seems low.
Well, yeah, it seems a bit low. I don't know.
AdSense, maybe. No.
Well, MrBeast
no,
probably gets pretty decent ads on his videos.
Yeah, I just figured he would get way better ads than I do.
channel
Yeah.
makes
Well, there you have it. Even PewDiePie thought that estimate was extremely low, and I did as well. For my next bit of information, let's go into Social Blade and see how accurate it is. So here we are in my Social Blade. I'm using mine for just a very brief second. As you can see, it says I make $974 per month. That's probably pretty close. I don't make a ton, and my views are down 20% with 240,000 views in a month. Pretty cool. Let's go into Graham's next. So now we're in Graham's Social Blade, and it says he makes $25,000 per month on YouTube. That is so wrong. It's not even funny. And so now if Graham's is wrong, let's look at MrBeast and just see. MrBeast says he makes 1.7 million just on his main channel. So if Graham's is, that's like 8, 6, 9 times off. Just think if MrBeast was that far off. This next clip will show you how much MrBeast makes, and it comes from his mouth.
Grasp it. There's no lie. It took me a minute to grasp it.
One of the videos was where you were giving away houses, and that
Yeah.
obviously cost, you know,
Yeah,
over
we spent just shy of $1 million.
just shy of
yeah.
$1 million. And you told us how much that video made.
All right, so first, the cost of it doesn't matter, right? He doesn't care about that. He'll take from the merch and all the rest of it. But they're screenshotting this around the time that they filmed it, which this video is very new. 62 million views were on this video, and the video is from March 6th. So regardless of that, 62 million views. Watch this.
On AdSense.
Yeah.
How much did that video make on
Not
AdSense?
$1 million. Way less than $500,000. I'll tell you that. And then there's a brand deal on it, but even
So less than $500,000. So I'm just going to use $500,000 because the video is well over 62 million views now. But $500,000 at the time, right? I know he said less, and I know he's just throwing a number out there, but it could have been 480, could have been 380. He also talked about having a brand deal, right? So he made definitely more than that. But let's see if there's anything left in this clip. But I'm going to show you how I came up with my numbers.
then, because that's not including the cost of the people to produce it and stuff like that. So it's closer to like 1.3 million to do the video.
Good.
We're definitely not going to make over $1 million on that video. So
There's no way there's someone else spending that kind of money.
So I've got the screen record going on my phone. Let me show you how I come up with this number. 62 million views, okay? And you're going to divide that by 1,000, okay? Because that's how YouTubers are paid. So it means he's going to be paid per 1,000 views 62,000 times. So he said less than 500,000, so let's put 500,000 in, okay? And then divide it by 62,000. Now this is just a guess, but it comes out with $8.06. Now that would be his RPM, what he takes home per 1,000 views. The reason that Social Blade is so far off of Graham's numbers and most likely MrBeast is because it doesn't know how to account for the people that have learned how to get massive audience retention and major watch times. Let me show you 2 clips that confirm these 2 facts, and I think you're really going to enjoy them. This clip is from Impulsive, where Logan Paul pays Jimmy the ultimate creator compliment.
Can I ask you something about that video?
Yeah.
Jimmy, I watched it to completion, as I do with most of your videos.
thank you. I appreciate
To completion, by the way. Like, watch time, you got it down. You got me hooked.
you.
You got me hooked.
Literally, that's the best compliment you could ever give me.
Bro, your watch time's high, my
Thank you.
friend.
I'm going to get
Okay, so Family Channel Jimmy. So here's another one from Colin and Samir on MrBeast giving him the ultimate tip on how to be successful on YouTube.
This is called a retention graph.
The whole time while we were there, Jimmy was giving us advice on how to get our videos to 70% retention.
70%, that's what you need. If it's below that, figure out how to get higher.
So that means 70% of the people who clicked on the video are still watching at the end of the video.
I went back and watched the FBI video again. Those first 40 seconds were so jam-packed.
The thing people undervalue the most is literally the first 10 seconds of the video. Like, I think I can quote it. I tied up an FBI agent and I have $100,000 in this bag. Here's a knife, good luck, and I just run away. Like,
So this proves that Jimmy is getting 70% audience retention. So that right there shows you that MrBeast is getting people like Logan Paul, me, and many, many others that are watching his videos at least 70% of the time. His audience retention is 70% of the time, which means that those advertisers are gonna wanna spend more, and that ad revenue is even bigger than Social Blade can fathom. Another thing that MrBeast is absolutely a genius for is he has learned how to work sponsors into a part of the video, where if you tune out or skip past, you're gonna miss something that's pretty epic. For sponsors on his main channel, let's say that he gets $250,000 per video to do this. And he does about 2.5 videos per month that are going to include a sponsor. So this gets him a total monthly revenue of $625,000 for sponsorships on his main channel. For all of his other channels, especially Beast Gaming, this one pulls the sled for the other ones. But as far as Beast Gaming and all the other channels, let's say that he gets $150,000 per video in all of those combined. I think that's low. And let's say that he does this 2 times per month. And that way he gets a total gross ad revenue that he's going to be able to put in his pocket of $300,000 per month. Adding both of these together, he's going to get $925,000 per month in ad revenue, or when you do that by 12, that's $11.1 million per year. And as I said earlier in the video, he is reusing his old content, dubbing them for other countries, and this is getting him to the fastest growing channel in Espanol, and overall 100 extra million views per month. So for this, I'm going to actually give him $4,800,000 per year, or $400,000 per month in ad revenue. He's an absolute monster, folks. Now, for his merch line, I really feel like these numbers are low. I factored in $17 million per year in merch sales. The way I did this was when you take his 68,000 shirts that he sold in the 40 million subscriber video, multiply it out, you're gonna get about $2.1 million in revenue from that. Let's say he does that 6 times a year, and then add a little bit more for when people like myself go and buy merch to either give away or to keep for themselves. I really think this number is low, but I came up with $17 million. When you actually take that times 40%, which is, he's doing it online, he does it all themselves, there's not very many middlemen, and you're also talking about he's got to get a pretty good deal because he's buying in huge quantities, but you're going to come up with a profit of $6.8 million, or right at $566,000 per month. Now for MrBeast Burger. As I told you earlier in the video, their first 2 months, they sold 1 million burgers. So 7 months later, and now over 700 more kitchens, let's say that they've only sold 2 million more burgers because of the fact that it's slowed down since the launch, but it's remained pretty steady. Also, you're gonna have to factor in some 20%-ish for cookies, cokes, fries, and all those sides that everyone very much enjoys. When you do the math on this, it comes out to $32 million in burgers, plus the extras, let's do 20% for that. So $6.4 million there, a total gross revenue of $38,400,000. At a 10% return, which I think is extremely low because he's digital. He doesn't have brick and mortar stores. I really think this is extremely low, but 10% puts him at $3,840,000 to the bottom line. And when you add all of this together, MrBeast makes $82,340,750 per year, or just over $6.8 million per month. To put this in perspective, here's a fun fact. When TikTok launched in 2017, it had over 65 million users. That generated $63 million in gross revenue. MrBeast is on par with a large company like TikTok or other streaming services of its caliber. He's competing with them, so who knows what his future will hold. Now let's bring Graham Stephan on to see what his thoughts are. Hey Graham, welcome to the video.
How's it going, man?
Doing good. So my first question to you is, you are our expert on Social Blade, on how much income MrBeast might possibly make. So what are your thoughts on Social Blade, especially since it says you make $25,000 per month?
Yeah, it's not accurate at all. It's a good ballpark for some channels, but for others, especially MrBeast, he's very advertiser friendly. He doesn't swear. There's nothing controversial in his videos. So I would expect it to be way higher than whatever's listed.
I agree. So if you don't mind, what idea, if you wouldn't mind sharing your CPM and kind of what you think his might be?
Yeah, mine's in the 30s. Yeah, so my CPM's somewhere in the low 30s. For him, I would expect it to be anywhere from maybe like $8 on the low end to maybe like 14, maybe 13, 14 on the high end, maybe 15 depending on ad rates.
How awesome would that be? Because if that was the case, that means his RPM, which is, you know, I'll let you explain that, but would be around like $8, which would be pretty massive.
Yes, that means he would get $8 for every 1,000 views his video gets, which would be substantial when he's getting hundreds of millions of views.
So now that we've talked about RPM, which is just what MrBeast gets, do you want to explain, you know, the difference between why your ad revenue is substantially higher than his?
Yeah, it's all based on what advertisers are willing to pay for that audience. I think my audience is usually a little bit older. They're interested in making money. And so financial products will pay a lot more than MrBeast's audience, who are probably a little bit younger, and they're a different demographic. So for an advertiser to target them, overall, they'll get less than my channel.
For sure. So that makes sense. So for this equation, do you want to settle on his CPM being 11?
Yeah, you know what? I think 11 is fair.
So that means that his RPM would be somewhere around $6.05 per, which is still pretty strong. And that's, I think we both could agree that we think it's a little higher. So when you add up all of that revenue, that means he makes over $55,800,750. That's kind of crazy.
That's a lot of money, but you know what? He's spending a lot of money in his videos, so I bet whatever he makes, he puts it right back into his content.
Yeah, when you watch his videos, you know, being that you're very frugal, what's the thought process there?
Well, he's getting a lot more views than me, so whatever he's doing is working.
And whatever you're doing is working as well. Thank you so much for being here on the channel, Graham. Thank you so much for being a good friend, and I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. And by the way, I just want to say a huge congratulations on 90,000 subscribers. You got to get to 100K, and then you get a play button. So whoever's watching this right now, if you haven't already subscribed, just subscribe. Totally free.
And then also, please go subscribe to Graham, especially if we're getting some new viewers from this video. Now, this might not be what he makes this fiscal year, but this is what he's on pace to make in the next 12 months. Another thing to look out for is he is now doing a $10 million expansion to the MrBeast brand and content. He bought a giant warehouse with 100 acres to build a ton more warehouses to keep doing his epic content. One thing to watch out for is his monstrous growth. So this time next year, these numbers might mean absolutely nothing. How about a throwback from Jimmy himself to prove this point?
Yeah, 170,000 views equals $140 after my network's cut, which is kind of close to what I've always said in my videos. 1,000 views equals $1.
You heard it here, folks. MrBeast makes over $82 million per year. Also, please power up that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video out with your friends so that way I can give away $5,000 to my subscribers. Also, tune in to October 13th, where I've got another really cool video for you, and I'm giving away $1,000 for our 90th for our 90,000th subscriber giveaway. So all that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed all of the work that went into it. Please remember that I 100% believe in you. I know you can do anything that you set your mind to. Never let anyone tell you differently. I hope you have a fantastic afternoon, and I will see you on the next one. For our 90,000th subscriber, our 90,000th for our 90,000th subscriber, 90,000th subscriber, you know, I was trying to say it right.